Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Sympathy for the Devil, starring Nicolas Cage as a psychotic criminal takes a man hostage on the night he's supposed to go to the hospital to help his wife have a baby. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 11. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. This is kind of a classic setup. They used to make these movies all the time. They would take a hit song title and just make a movie based on it. Oddly enough, the song doesn't appear to be in the movie, though, or a cover of it. Usually it would be a cover, which is kind of sucks, because I kind of want to hear the song now that I heard the title of the movie. But the premise of the movie, as I said, Nicolas Cage is a psychotic criminal, and he takes this guy hostage because he needs to, I don't know, get out of town or whatever. And then starts a Odysee where he, it's sort of a cat and mouse game between the driver and him. And along the way, Cage kills a cop, and then they're in this diner, and I think he kills people in here. And then the guy's trying to survive and get to his wife and possibly kill Cage, or at least get rid of him. And it looks pretty crazy, mostly because Nicolas Cage looks super amped up. This looks like Mandy levels of performance from him. And he looks like he's totally in control of these scenes. So here's how I would break down the 3-act structure on this. First act, obviously, the setup. There's an emergency room. Guy's going to see his wife who's giving birth. Runs into Nicolas Cage just at random. Cage is trying to escape the hospital, I assume, because one of his cohorts or something is in there and the cops are after him. So he takes this dude hostage. Now, it's probably that he is legitimately just some random dude, and that Cage has either mistaken him or has chosen him for a reason. Like, it could go either way. I think he is a random dude. Maybe his car was close to the one that Cage was supposed to be in, or he looked like the guy that Cage was supposed to take hostage, and he's not really. Or the big twist may be he is that guy. That could be the big twist at the end. But anyhow, he takes him hostage. And then second act, which is most of the movie, they're on this road trip. They stop for gas, and all the time, the guy's looking for avenues to escape. Cage gets into the front with him. I think at one point he tries the old smashing into something. That doesn't work. He tries speeding, and then the cops get a hold of him, and Cage shoots the cop. They eventually get to a diner and stop to eat, and where Cage threatens everybody in the diner and then demands truthful answers from him. But Cage gets more and more unhinged as the movie continues, and that does come across in the trailer. So looks like a fun movie. And then the third act, of course, there's a showdown between the guy and Cage, and the guy beats him somehow. Cage either dies or there's a big explosion. You don't see what happens to him, but the guy gets back to his wife. Oh, here's the credits. Written by Luke Paradise. What a name. Luke Paradise here. Directed by Yuval Adler. Another interesting name. So Nicolas Cage, and the other actor's name is Joel Kinnaman. So they're the main two characters. Mostly going to be them. You know what? It reminds me a little bit of that Tom Cruise movie with Jamie Foxx, Collateral. Same kind of premise. Only Tom Cruise is a hitman. He's crazy, psychotic kind of too, but a little more together than Cage. Like, Cage is unhinged. He's like Mandy level of unhinged in this, I think. Whereas Cruise was a little more, had his stuff together. Because Cruise is always the best, right? He's always the best hitman or whatever. So I like this. I like this premise. I think Cage looks like he's totally on point on this. Joel is normal dude. Seems to be playing a normal dude. Again, the big twist could be that Joel is actually the guy Cage has been looking for the whole time, and he's posing as a regular guy. Maybe in the witness protection program, maybe he was a criminal. Maybe that could be the big reveal in the third act, right? Like you're rooting for Joel the whole movie. He finally beats Cage, kills him, or gets him arrested or whatever. He's let go, and then he gets to the hospital and sees his wife, and then there's a final scene where you realize, he's way worse than Cage. But that would be a great twist. That would be an amazing twist. Like, goes to see his wife, and then it turns out, his wife was just the excuse to go to a bigger meeting of criminals or something. I would love that if that was the case. Either way, I think it'll be a fun movie because Nicolas Cage, man, he lights up the screen. I said the same thing about Renfield, but clearly Cage wasn't the focus of Renfield. It was more Holt. I can't pronounce his name. Nicholas Hoult, I think his name is. And that was a shame. It turns out, a lot of reviewers said it wasn't great. I might catch it on a VOD or something. But this, I would go see this. Absolutely. Definitely in my wheelhouse. No more info. But I say, yeah. Look, even a bad Nicolas Cage movie, still kind of good. Because Nicolas Cage is in it. He doesn't just sit there. I've never seen him in a movie where it was like, oh, Nicolas Cage isn't doing anything in this thing. Like, he's always doing something kind of cool and interesting. He's always kind of that guy. Kind of like he could snap at any minute. Even the bad movies, like National Treasure, one of the dumbest movies. I called it the Da Vinci Code for morons. It's still a fun movie to watch Nicolas Cage figure things out and just say he who he reminds me of? Shatner's that way. No matter what Shatner's in, no matter how dumb the movie, you're kind of like, this is kind of cool. Every scene with Cage or Shatner, it's you gotta watch it. You gotta. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. You got to get all your base takes in every day. Doctors recommend 4 base takes, and we do 4 videos, coincidentally. The other 2 are on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble, so make sure you're there. I'll be at the Vineland Library on Thursday for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. The link is below. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.